New overnight, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in an effort to lower the temperature between the United States and China. Blinken is in Beijing to complete a round of talks originally scheduled for earlier this year. But of course, you remember those talks were suspended after a Chinese spy balloon was caught flying over U.S. military installations back in February. Joel Rubin served as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State during the Obama administration. Good morning, Joel. Thanks for being with us on your Monday.
Hi, good morning, Marky. Thank you.
So, for starters, this meeting between Blinken and Xi Jinping wasn't always guaranteed, right? So what does that signal to you, and how consequential is this meeting today?
Yeah, this is a very good sign for this meeting out in Beijing, where Secretary Blinken going to China really is making the most consequential trip to China of an American leader since the early 1970s, since President Nixon and Henry Kissinger opened up China. And for him to meet with the President Xi implies that he is laying the groundwork for a meeting between President Biden and President Xi, a summit where they're going to discuss the whole range of issues, something they've been talking about in phone calls. And now for this to be in person, it really does signal both to the Chinese leadership as well as here in the United States that there's a serious effort underway between the two leaders to try to get the issues on a discussion track rather than just purely trading barbs and accusations across the Pacific.
And hopefully not even just President Biden, but hopefully open the doors for other American, diplomats and leaders to have meetings later on this year as well. Let's go back to day one of Blinken's trip, if we could, which saw more than 7 hours of diplomatic discussion. The State Department and Chinese government say these talks were, quote, candid and constructive. You worked in the State Department. What does that mean? And what should the average person take away from the developments thus far?
Yeah, you nailed it, Marky. Look, candid and constructive or diplomatic speak for direct and difficult. And what that means is that there are real issues here in this relationship that matter. What is China doing with Ukraine? What are its intentions towards Taiwan? How about the economic relationship and the tensions in the Pacific and human rights issues to boot? So Secretary Blinken has certainly laid those out, put American positions on the table, but did so in a way where it wasn't a discussion to end discussions, but a discussion to open up the aperture. As you mentioned a moment ago as well, there are many senior officials in the United States that are going to want to engage China. Our Commerce Secretary, Climate Envoy, you name it, there's a lot of business. So these are hard discussions, but clearly trying to put the best face on it publicly to show that this is the beginning of a process, not the end of one.
And what's the best that we can really hope for here? Is it just stabilization? Do you think this trip will overall have any sort of impact on U.S.-China relations that'll be, palpable for us to feel here at home? Or is this just show?
Well, it's got to be more than show. There have been tensions mounting for years now, and this is across administrations. President Trump's administration, prior to that, President Obama as well. And so this is hopefully going to lead to a process. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some type of summit process like we had with the Soviet Union during the Cold War, where there are continual engagements on the whole variety of issues. A big one that I didn't even mention is the nuclear weapons question that China is now investing heavily in. There's a lot of business here. And so hopefully that those engagements will create stability and predictability that the rest of the world can look at and say, okay, they're not going to go to war, because that's really the red line here. Certainly from the United States perspective.
And not to veer into conflict.
Exactly.
Joel, while I have you, one more question here. There are a lot of people who have been very critical of this trip, the timing of it. What do you say to those who feel the Biden administration should freeze China out? What's your response?
Well, one, it's impossible to freeze China out. It's the second, if not the first, global leading economy in the world, 1.4 billion people. It's engaging around the world, and diplomacy is about getting in the face, quite frankly, of your adversaries and figuring out what the contours of the relationship are. So this is not a gift to China. What this is an extension of American power through words. And for that, it's a very important visit.
Joel Rubin, thanks so much for joining us on Morning in America.
Thanks,
we appreciate
Marky.
it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.